السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. نكمل سلسلة القصص الرائعة من قناة ندى سعد. نتمنى تنال إعجابكم ونبدأ على بركة الله.
Donkey. William, the salesman, used to go to the market every day to sell the salt he carried on his donkey's back. On their way, they had to cross a small bridge to reach the market. The donkey was lazy, stubborn, always tired, and never wanted to carry anything. One day, the donkey suddenly fell off the bridge into the river, and the salt dissolved in the water, making the bag very light to carry. The donkey came out of the river happy for not having to carry anything, while the salesman returned home sad. The next day, while they were crossing the bridge, the donkey jumped into the river again. He decided to repeat this trick every day. The salt salesman realized the donkey's trick each time they crossed the bridge and decided to teach him a lesson. The next day, the salesman put a bag of cotton on the donkey's back, then headed to the market, then waited for him to play his trick when they crossed the bridge. When the donkey did his trick and jumped into the water on purpose, the cotton absorbed the water, and the weight on his back increased. The donkey struggled to get out of the river and get to the market with the wet cotton. The donkey learned his lesson and never played the trick again, and the salesman was very happy that his idea had worked.
Dear subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Your encouragement means the world to me and inspires me to create even more content. I appreciate each and every one of you. Not a Sod channel.
Wise Man. Once upon a time there was a wise man living in a small village with poor villagers who knew him for his wisdom. The villagers had been coming to him to complain about their situation and poverty, while others looked for answers to their problems. And the wise man listened to them all and generously helped them. But the villagers were always complaining about the same problems that they had faced in their lives every single time. One day, the wise man gathered them and told them a joke, and everybody laughed. Then he told them the same joke again, and only a few of them smiled. When he told the joke for the third time, nobody laughed. The wise man smiled and said, "You can't laugh at the same joke over and over, so why are you always crying over the same problem? Worrying won't solve your problems. Instead, it wastes your time and energy. You must let go of complaining and face your problems so you can come up with a suitable solution."
Dear subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Your encouragement means the world to me and inspires me to create even more content. I appreciate each and every one of you. Not a Sod channel.
And his mother. One morning, a seal woke up and reflected on the other animals and found that he looked totally different. So he went and asked his mother, "Mommy, why do we have a hump?" "Our humps are for storing water, so we can live in the desert," replied his mother. "Okay, and why do we have rounded feet, Mommy?" said a seal. The mother replied, "Because they help us walk comfortably in the desert. These legs also help us move around in the sand." "Okay, but why are our eyelashes long?" asked the seal. to protect our eyes from the desert dust and sand," replied his mother. The baby camel thought for a while and said, "So we have a hump to store water for desert journeys, rounded hooves to keep us comfortable when we walk in the desert sand, and long eyelashes to protect us from sand and dust during a desert storm. Then what are we doing in this zoo?" The mother was stunned and was unable to answer her child's question. Your strengths, skills, and knowledge are useless if you aren't in the right place. And the Smart Rabbit. Once upon a time, a lion was bored of hunting and chasing animals to catch his prey when hungry. So he called all the animals and issued an order. "Every day, one of you must come to be my prey." All the animals were afraid, so they held a meeting and decided the rabbit should go first, because he was the smallest and weakest among them. The rabbit was terrified. On his way to the lion's den, he came across an old well. He looked into the well, which was deep and dangerous. The rabbit made a sound, and it echoed back, so he had an idea to save himself from the lion. The lion was angry because none of the animals had come yet. The rabbit approached slowly and scared. The lion roared and said, "Why are you late?" "On my way here, Your Majesty, another lion chased me. I barely ran away from him, so I can sacrifice my life to you, my king," replied the terrified rabbit. The lion was pleased with the rabbit, but the thought of another lion in the forest made him angry. The lion roared, "Do you know where that lion lives?" "Yes, Your Majesty. Please come with me," replied the rabbit. The rabbit took the lion to the old well and said, "Your Majesty, that lion lives in this well." The lion looked inside the well and roared loudly. He heard another roar, which was his own echo, but he didn't realize it and thought it was the other lion's roar. He jumped into the well, and that was the end of the lion. The rabbit was able to save his own life, and all the animals were happy also to be safe. The animals learned that anyone who is unfair can be awfully strong, but one must use the strength of one's mind, as it is undefeatable.